spectrum nerds. We're just two broad spectrum nerds. When your IP is in a straitjacket, we won't attack it, we'll just give it reconstructive surgery. We're your two best friends. I'm the bro, I'm the sis. We know your story's coke and that you're an addict, but we love you too much to let you go down like this, so we'll hug you close and shout, no, broad spectrum nerds. We're just two broad spectrum nerds. When your IP is in a straitjacket, we won't attack it, we'll just give it reconstructive surgery. We've got ideas for years. I'm a vet, I'm a teacher, we make a meat quesadilla, feast in our cafeteria. We are two broad spectrum nerds. Broad spectrum nerds.
Hello!
Hi.
Welcome to Broad Spectrum Nerds.
Welcome.
Where the off-camera shenanigans are king, as per usual.
We can't
time.
go without it.
No.
I don't know how, but we can't go without it.
No, we cannot. So today, we're going to go over a superhero you might know, Wonder Woman. If you only knew! But yes.
I wish you did.
I only have this t-shirt, but she has
so many.
much stuff.
I have so
and I was
many
asking
different...
if you have a tiara.
No, but I do have like sunglasses, and at the top of the sunglasses it's like a tiara on top. I also have another hat like this one, but that one is signed by Susan Eisenberg, so I keep it in a safe space.
Yeah.
Because, you know.
Who got you that hat, by the way?
He actually got me that hat. He got her to like sign it and everything. It's one of my favorite things.
So this is it's March,
Yes.
Women's Empowerment Month. So we are
Yes.
here to represent and celebrate the woman.
Wonder Woman.
Booyah! Ta-dow!
Booyah. Right, he just kept going with sound effects.
So, unbeknownst to probably a majority of you, we actually have a Wonder Woman animated series.
Yes, we do.
Pitch series. That sounds repetitive. Like
Yeah,
High School Musical,
it's like
the musical, the series. That's what I felt like I just did.
It's so many things back to back. It's like it's an idea for a Wonder Woman story that he wrote that we kind of brainstormed together.
Yeah.
And that I'm like voice acting as Wonder Woman and like everything.
She's voice acting all. She's everyone, but it's primarily Wonder Woman.
It's yeah.
But she also does the narration.
Yeah. I think we're telling a really cool story. You guys should go check it out.
Yes, we're actually. So what we initially launched it on Instagram. Very short episodes. We use like she's voice overing it. James, our producer, we made music, and so that's underneath it.
Made music and everything.
And then, so it's a collection of like stills and maybe like an occasional video clip just to give the idea, because obviously we're not animators and we can afford to pay animators, nor are we being paid. But we just want to give you guys the idea, like, okay, what could the story possibly be? So by the time this comes out, we will have compiled all the videos into one YouTube video so you can get an idea of what it would be. And then we are planning to actually come back and start that this month.
Yeah, at some point.
Yeah.
And we're going to do like a recap video of everything. So if you don't want to watch all of it, you can just like real quick, this is everything that happened. Bang. It's got action, magic, Diana, medicine. It's pretty good.
It's all the good stuff. We're pretty proud of the story.
We really are.
And so, in with that in mind, we came up with a list.
Yes.
Of top 5 things.
Top 5
that are required.
We individually came up with a list of like 5 things.
And we were gonna merge them together, but the lists were so good, we're just
and like they were like just different enough. It kind of, I think the way that we wrote our list kind of shows how we each see Wonder Woman individually, and like some things are like the same and just kind of different as like the top 5 things that would be like the most important for an animated Wonder Woman. Yeah.
And so, so we have our
I don't think mine were in any order of importance. I just want to put that out there because I don't like it's not like countdown to like the number 1 most important thing, though number 1 is the most important thing in this instant. But like
mine were like in order of like if I had to pick them in order of whatever one, but it's also top 5, so you kind of need all of them. So don't take it in any particular order.
It's us,
except for the first one. The first one is number 1.
It is. As soon as I said, I was like, well, yeah, no, number 1
the first one is
actually number 1.
That's what you need.
So number 1 is good voice actress, like a good solid voice that carries that line for me between like regality and like she's a warrior. Like
absolutely
that is the dichotomy. That is the balance that you need to have. And you're like, not enough of one, not enough of another. It isn't like compelling or realistic. Susan Eisenberg, fantastic voice.
Crushed it.
Gal Gadot, I don't know how she does it,
Yeah.
but her voice is like amazing. Like she always has like that like grave regality.
Yeah. I want to know if she always had that voice. Like, was she in like middle school saying, "Teacher, I have a question. What is?" Like, I just want to know. And the teacher is
so
just
amazing. Just like, you sound like a princess.
like,
Her voice is amazing.
yeah.
Rosario Dawson, I really like hers. Is pretty good.
I didn't think anyone could really take the mantle after Susan, because
Susan crushed it.
Susan is like the Beyonce of Wonder Woman voices. She's just the queen. We all bow down
we have to.
And so when Rosario got it, I was like, I love Rosario. So
I love her a lot. Yeah,
but I just didn't. You just don't know what can happen.
You can't tell.
And so when she did her Wonder Woman, I was like, this is a good passing of the torch.
It is.
This is solid.
And then Superman Red Sun, that came out last month. And Vanessa Marshall, she's the she voice acted as Hera in Star Wars Rebels. Her voice of Wonder Woman is actually pretty solid. Like, I was surprised because, like you said, we had like warmed up to Rosario and growing up with Susan.
She did, Hera in Rebels?
Yeah.
When you said Hera, I thought you meant Wonder Woman's mom.
No, Rebels.
When you texted me that.
Wonder Woman's mom isn't Hera, it's Hippolyta.
I was clearly having a brain fart day. All right, so Hera in Star Wars Rebels.
Yes, Hera in Star Wars Rebels, the great pilot that we all love and adore. I don't know.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, like her voice was.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't expecting it to be her. Like, I don't know who they were gonna have as Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
But like watching it, like her Wonder Woman is actually really solid. Like.
Yeah. And so yeah, this is the number one quality, because kind of like picking a comic book, before you read the story, you see the cover art, and the cover art has to pull you in, and the voice of Wonder Woman is the cover art for the character, and so you just gotta have that. Like she's saying, it has to have all these layers of nuance.
So many layers,
which can be difficult to do because you have to be soft and strong and assertive, and then romantic, sometimes firm, magic. Like it can be difficult to hit all those notes, because you can't sound like you're trying to hit all those notes. It has to be like natural. It has to be like a blend,
natural,
like a red wine of vocality.
And
I
when
like
you
that.
do,
can we get that on a shirt? A red wine of vocality. We're having a lot of asides today.
So many. But yeah, like I lost my train of thought. I was saying something. Whatever, we'll come back to it probably, or we won't.
So number one is the voice has to be
number
right.
one is
and then
the
I'm
voice.
actually gonna pull out my notes for number two. So what was
today.
your number two? Yes,
my number two was another kind of like balance in her, like her dichotomy. I said the between like being how naturally gentle she is, like and because she is naturally very gentle, but then also she is a warrior. So like that line between like always wanting peace, but not being afraid to fight. Like one of her favorite lines in like the comics, I think it was like a Rucka run, but I could be lying because I love Greg Rucka's writing of Wonder Woman. He does. So the line is, "Do not take a desire to avoid violence as an inability to deal it," and that is such a important part of her character.
Strong line.
Like such a strong line. Yeah. Like just because I don't want to fight doesn't mean I can't take you out. And it's like that. It's that black mom balance of like, I love you and I will feed you and I will make sure you get to school on time, but also I brought you into this world and I can take you out of it. Like it's both of those. It's not either or. It's not even really two sides of the same coin. It's just two on parts of the character. Yeah, it's just all one. There. And that's really important to me for Diana.
Yeah.
And then your second point.
My second point is the animation. So like I saw really. We're not going to cite
we're not going to say specifically.
But I saw a really clunky animation of Wonder Woman, which I'd never seen. Usually, like, Wonder Woman's animation is tight. And so I saw this clunky depiction of her, and I was just like,
it hurts. It hurts. It feels weird.
Like, even if the voice was solid, it would be visually hard.
I think the one he was talking about, the voice was solid. Like, it was, like, a really good, but, like, looking at it.
It's hard to look at.
It was, like,
it's like being on a date with I don't know, like a cement man. Like it's not
like
wonderful.
hard angles, like that soft
Cinderblock
like
from Teen Titans, like being on a date with Cinderblock. It's just like but like Cinderblock has the voice of Billy D. Williams. It's just like it's like this is appealing, but not at the same time. So the animation has got to be tight.
It needs to be.
So that would be number 2. The clunky animation needs to not be clunky.
Not be. Just be smooth.
And
angelic looking. Yeah. She's called Angel.
You need a face that matches Billy D's voice.
Well, right now I'm talking about like Gall or Susan Rosario. But,
right. But yeah, it has to look. It has to look.
It has to match. Yeah.
I feel like sometimes they try to, or creators try to experiment with look, and I'm all for experimentation, but you're supposed to experiment in the lab, and then once you perfect it, then you bring you bring the product to the store, to your consumers. Yeah. You don't really like experiment and be like, this is fine. And you end up with just like the Flooglies of superhero characters, and that's not really what you want. So anyways, that's number 2.
That's number 2.
So number 3. What is your number 3?
My number 3 is kind of like her innocence and purity, to a point, because like she is good inherently. Like that is, I feel like I keep saying the basis of her character, but like that is like that's the base. Like at the very least, take everything away. She is good and pure in most senses. So like I think that's important to hold on to, and that kind of does tie a little bit into like the whole like fish out of water aspect of like in general, like Wonder Woman year 1 or whatever, and even like every time like she shows up, she just kind of doesn't understand. And I think those two go well together, and even when she does kind of understand man's world a little bit more, she still has that like honest goodness and just like open like purity. And I think that
she's not motivated by like greed or self-gain. That's not her driving,
because she's
force.
Pure and she's
I think
good.
That's what makes a compelling story as far as with that particular point, is how do you take someone who's not driven by selfish gain and have them survive in a world that is ran on selfish gain.
And like most of her actions need to be from a place of like love.
Yeah.
Like doing the best for everyone. Like it's Wonder Woman, you know? Like Gall said, like I believe in love. Like that is Wonder Woman. Like love should be the reason why we do all of our actions.
Yeah. My number 3 is similar to that, maybe like parallel. Mine was parallel tracks, because I feel like, and I feel like Dwayne and the team did a really good job with this in Justice League Unlimited. She's a woman in a man's world, so you have to be realistic. Like you can't just suddenly have like, oh, all men are accepting of women and there's equal pay and there's equal, like that's not really how the world works. That's how it should work. That's not how it does work. So you have to have her navigate that world so she can, bring some balance and restore some order. But at the same time, you can't just have her be like the token woman, like this is our woman representation for the show. That's it.
We have one.
Yeah.
That's enough.
So
that's all we need.
You have to have that balance of like, this is the world as it is, and she kind of represents the world as it should be. And how you, in my opinion, one of the ways you could bridge that gap is not decreasing the presence of men, but increasing the presence of women, which I feel like they did in the movie really well.
They did.
And even in, some of the episodes of Justice League where it was just like, oh, we're just paying attention to more female characters and not pretending like it's only a male saturated world, because it's not. So yeah, that's 3. Our 4s, I think our 4s are similar.
They're very similar.
So for what I put for number 4 is her relationship with her mother. It doesn't really matter how you play it. In my opinion, it doesn't matter how you play it. Like, she can be at odds with her mother. She can really, like, long for her mother. They could be on good terms, whatever. But, like, her relationship with her mother is vital to me, because that was her first love and her first heartbreak.
Yes.
It's her first, it's her deepest. That is her reference point. And it's the one thing that she can never fix due to how she like got the armor and became one. She can never fix it. She can only like kind of like heal and deal with it, but it's always kind of like a needling pain.
And then my 4 was just her heritage. She's like an Amazon directly pulled out of Greek mythology, and that should be a lot of her character. Yeah. Like, even as she's like in man's world and growing accustomed to it, she should always, you know, be tying back to her roots and who she is and like where she's come from. And that is also like her mother, her island, like her sisters, like that's all a part of her, like deeply woven into like the fabric of her personality, that you can't really strip her of that like at all, because then you lose a major part of like who her character is. Like,
yeah,
she
has
Amazon,
a heritage,
with a deep, rich Amazon filled with so much shenanigans, but it's a part of who she is. Like, Dwayne was just the best. He did such a good job of like, even like her mother, like their relationship, he did like play with that a little bit, and then like her going back to the island, or her
breaking
going
the rules
to get Hades, like all of that, just like it's a part of, like they had Hermes like go get her, like this is her heritage. It's like very much a part of her character.
Yeah, and it's just as much as any other element, which we also play upon heavily in our proposed series. And then for number 5, it kind of echoes something that she said earlier about like
3.
She's good. You're
my
3.
My third point.
And just like she says she is good, and my take on the same idea of her being good is that she always knows what's right. In my head, Superman always knows what's good. Superman will always know what the good decision is. Wonder Woman always knows what the right decision is, and those two aren't always the same. The right thing to do is not necessarily the good thing to do, and that is important. So you cannot water down her agency or make her dependent on another character to understand morality. Like, her, at the end of the day, even though she's influenced by a lot of different people, obviously, as we all are, her moral compass is firm in her. She, within herself, has a really good gut, and her moral compass always swings north. And that is compelling, because not everyone has that. Again, like, how does this type of person navigate a world that's not focused on the same things?
Good.
Which goes into one of her earlier points of I can't remember what it goes back into the quote. What was the quote?
Which, this one?
Yeah. Do not take a desire to avoid violence as an inability to deal it. It's that whole idea of knowing what's right versus what's good.
And then my last point, and this is just kind of me, is her love for children. And because
do love that part.
Yes, I do, because she was the only child on the island. So her coming to man's world and like seeing children, they're like really close to her heart, and they show that all the time, that she just like wants to protect them because they are also pure, they're innocent, like they've not done anything to deserve bad things happening to them. And then the point that's just me is that special attention to the bad kids. I feel like because she was like there with, like, while Bruce was like, you know, collecting his orphans, his army of orphans, she like, would have a special love for them, just because she's like out there with them, protecting them, and then understanding who they are personally. I have a headcanon that Jason is her favorite. There's really no reason for that, but it's my favorite thought is that like she loves Jason with like a specific type of love that doesn't really apply to the rest of them, though she loves all of them. Like, her and Jason have this interesting type of bond. But that's just...
I would love to see that in a Wonder Woman, like, direct series or something. Just, I don't know, or maybe like a mini, I don't know where it would be, but just to see them, like, going to talk to her, like, yo, Bruce is tripping. And she has, like, all this insight. I could see Jason being her favorite.
Yeah.
If that could somehow be retro, like, if we could Dave Filoni it and retroactively tie their relationship into his, Red Hood story, the Under the Red Hood story, like before he like goes off and gets killed, I feel like we could draw even more emotion out of that. Because what if part of that is he didn't, you know, he went or whatever, and Batman didn't know, but he called Wonder Woman.
Yeah, he came back when he comes
Wonder
back.
Woman was already en route, and even she was too late.
Oh.
And then like off camera, what we never saw on the panel is that while Batman's holding Jason,
like behind,
she lands.
Oh.
And holds him. So, anyways.
And then, you know, hashtag WonderBat forever. That's also part of it. That's part of why specifically.
That's a good tie-in. But yeah, so these are our 5 points, which are technically maybe 8.5, of what would make a good Wonder Woman animated series. Or these are the top 5 essentials of what you would need in order to make it work. And obviously, number 1 is the voice. Yes. And if we had it to do, Susan is our Wonder Woman voice.
Yes.
Yeah. All hail Susan.
She's
praise the Eisenberg. So thank you guys for watching.
Thank you so much.
Those are ideas. You can follow Broad Spectrum Nerds on Instagram at Broad Spectrum Nerds.
Yes, you can.
On Twitter at Broad Spec Nerds. I realized we did not do this in the beginning.
We didn't do
Brother
it.
Host, Sista Host thing.
A lot happened earlier.
Yeah, and we were really excited to get this to happen sometime.
You can't tell?
Right. Anyways, this is Sista Host. You can follow her.
Host at Visions_live. This is Brother Host. You can follow him
at Josh Evans Go. And
see you
see you next time.